There is fresh CCTV footage that has emerged in this entire case of the Kanjavla accident, the death of Anjali. This is the accused parking the grey Baleno. There are 4 people waiting. This person in the white shirt is actually waiting for them. They all get out and you can see, you can count 1, 2, 3 and there is somebody at the wheel, the 4th person who also steps out. So there is that person who's coming out from that side. And they all leave the car there, hand it over to one or the other person who's added now into the list of accused, and then they take an auto and flee the place. There are all these people who are walking around and you can see the damage to the vehicle here. Now, can you believe that these people who have called ahead and said there has been an accident did not know they dragged somebody, a 23-year-old, dragged a human being for more than 12 kilometers? So, this is exactly what they are doing. This is happening somewhere around in the wee hours, around 4 a.m. or post that. This is what happens. After this, after the car owner has been absconding. His name is Ashutosh. Now, the question that we are asking as you look at these pictures, ladies and gentlemen, that why isn't that they shouldn't be tried for murder? Now, the cops are turning around and saying, and the special CP says there is no motive. Let's quickly look at the reasons why we believe, and we are asking the question, that why shouldn't they be tried for murder or should they not be booked under 302? The car... So, accused drove the car for nearly 12 kilometers and despite knowing that she was stuck. They knew this because that's what Nidhi says, usko pata tha, wo chilla rahi thi, and it's a Baleno. And all of us know, something sticks to the tire, you would know there is something amiss. It's a 23-year-old and a woman or a person who's being dragged and you did not know. Reason 2, accused caught on camera inspecting the Baleno from behind. They've been caught on camera having a look. So did they actually know what was happening? Or were they just driving around just so that they could lose the body and then make their escape? Accused called up Ashutosh and informed him about the accident. So usko pata hai, thok diya, kisi ko mara hai, but they didn't know that they were dragging somebody. Then Anjali shouted for help. That's what Nidhi has said. The accused knew that she was stuck because she was shouting, banging, mujhe koi nikalo, and they didn't know soon after the accident. At that time also the music was so loud. Delhi police confirms 2 more accused involved in the crime, so it's now 7 people. The accused tried to tamper with evidence is also what the cops are saying. Then they are also saying that not just Nidhi, but even the accused statements are contradictory and the person on the wheel did not have a license, so they changed the name of the person who was on the wheel. Now, given all of this, should they not be tried for murder? And the reason why we ask this, because the cops are saying they don't have motive, but did they have the motive to save life? They may not have had the motive to kill or a reason because they didn't know each other. But the absence of a motive to save a life, what does that tantamount to? Let's ask former CP Delhi SN Srivastava ji, Yogita Bhayana, women's rights activist, and Aishwarya Mudgil, lawyer, also with us. Namaste. Thank you very much, Srivastava ji. So you need a motive to kill. But if you didn't want to save a life, then what does that tantamount to?
See, these are still, 3-4 days have passed and the investigation is progressing. As you see, every day some fresh facts come to light. So at this stage, what I would say is that since Section 304 have already been applied, let the investigation go further and find out whether there is a motive or not. Because this requirement of motive is necessary to prove the charges under Section 302, the murder. But I will not be in a haste to decide whether it's 304 or 302 should be applied. Let the investigation progress.
Sir, you are a man of lot of experience, so I'll ask you a question. As the former CP of Delhi, you think the cops have done their job? Secondly, it's a Baleno. Is it possible that those who are on the wheel and inside the car didn't know that there is a human being under the chassis?
Yes, I am pretty sure, and from the CCTV footages, it is very clear that they knew, maybe not immediately, but later on, that they are dragging a woman. So this knowledge was definitely with them. that they're dragging a woman. So 304 is definitely attracted. They know that with this kind of action, if they drag a woman, she will die. So 304 is made out. There is no doubt about it. Now, as regards the fact, the question of whether the cops have done their job, as regards I are doing a good job. Still, I mean, a lot of investigation is going to continue. So at this stage, I am pretty satisfied with the investigation that is going on. Yes.
No,
I had on air. I had said that as regards the response was lacking. So they need to improve upon their response. But as regards the investigation, they are on the right track.
No, my only thing is in this CCTV footage that's been accessed today, Aishwarya Mudgil, there is a person who's actually waiting for the car to be driven in. He then turns around, walks around the car, gets into this seat, the passenger seat, and then that car is again driven off or moved away. And the others get off the car and then they take an auto and go away. My question to you is, cops would say there has to be a motive to kill somebody. But if the motive to save a life is absent, then what does that attract? Is that also not murder?
So Anand, first let me be clear, motive is not an essential ingredient of crime. Crime in simple legal terms is that there is an act and there was an intention to commit that act. So as long as there is an act which has resulted in death, they very well knew, and I think this will be clearer when the investigation happens. The fact that they went in an auto, the fact that they escaped, the fact that someone else came on wheel, this shows that there was some sort of an idea, an inkling that, we have gone wrong somewhere. At the same time, it's very difficult to conceive, and I mean, investigation can, reveal more details, but it's very difficult to accept the fact that there is a woman hanging like that, beneath your car, and you have no idea. There's a 21-year-old woman who's being dragged, and you have no idea that a woman is there, right? How loud could have been the music? Even if the music was loud, the ride itself would have made you uncomfortable, because it's not possible. You cross a small speed breaker, and even then, even if you cross a small stone, right, you will feel that there is some sort of a bumpy ride. It's very difficult to conceive that they didn't know
there
that
is something pulling at your wheel. There is something stuck on your chassis.
Exactly.
And you didn't know. And
exactly, it's very difficult to
and no matter how much there may be issues to try and fault Nidhi as an eyewitness or accusations of she's a plant. When she said that she was shouting, Anjali was shouting and banging and screaming, "Koi mujhe bachao." आपकी गाड़ी को कोई टक भी करता है, आपको पता लगता है there is somebody stuck and they're shouting, and that is the मौका वारदात. When the incident happened, Yogita Bhayana, how can these brutes not be tried for murder, and how can these brutes be given any benefit of doubt?
I think these brutes should definitely be tried for murder, and not only tried for murder, brutal murder, and they should definitely go for capital punishment. We've been asking for other cases also. Unfortunately, this country is very stingy when it comes to giving capital punishment, because they think women are nobody and they're just vote banks, and this is what happens every night. These are the stories which are surfacing. I am pretty sure I'm laughing at the cops. I have no other choice but to laugh at them. Even a 2-year-old will say that. So I think there is a larger conspiracy. I would definitely say that they are trying to, including the police. It's a big nexus. You will get to know later. But if the fair trial has been, will be done, or if there is an SIT or CBI on this.
No, because see,
otherwise
the cops,
we will lose all the hopes.
No,
we have lost
I
it in the
know,
future,
you
in the
are
past,
somebody who's talking out of a lot of despair and angst because of a lot of other cases also that you've been involved with. But I'm going to request you, Yogita Bhayana, to just be a little dispassionate and see. One aspect they say is that they have lost critical evidence that's been lost. The other thing is that the incident, when the accident happened, there is no video footage of that. So you have to rely on the perhaps versions that are coming from the accused, and also the only person the cops are calling as an eyewitness, that is Nidhi.
Anand, have they interrogated the boys? They were checked in together. They have not come out with any answer. Have they really done narco test on these? They should ask permission. How this girl has surfaced after 3 days. After so much of pressure, the CCTV footages are coming out. I have worked very intensely in this particular area, in this particular patch where she was found. I had worked in the village Jaunti for a couple of years. So I really know the whole scenario back of my hand. So I can really say that, knowing that this was an isolated patch, it is a very crime prone area. How could they have so many loose ends? I mean, all the patrolling, all the policing is for Latian zone. Is it that? Or when you know this is the place where crime occurs every now and then, it is not that it has happened for the first time. I have dealt 4 similar cases from that particular belt. Similar cases, rape and murder. Here,
See,
okay, we rule out sexual assault, but the kind of brutality, you cannot say that it is just sheer accident. Anybody, as I said, even a 2-year-old child will not even agree to it.
It is hard
How
to
can
believe.
they just be, so...
It is hard to believe it's a sheer accident, but somewhere, SN Srivastava, do you believe that there is a certain reluctance to try and actually hold the bull by the horns in this case?
You see, law or investigation is not based on emotions. When we are carrying out the investigation, you have to basically base your entire story or entire findings on what facts have come out.
Right.
In fact, I would say that I would like that all the 4 or 5 or 6 or 7, they be hanged. But my liking doesn't matter.
It is what you can.
What I have to do is I have to prove before a
court.
I have to prove before a court of law that we have this evidence against them for such charges, such offences.
Srivastava, I've run out of time. I would just, sir, I have to interrupt, but the cops have promised a very strong charge sheet. So we'll see if they live up to that task. Thank you very much. I have to wind up on that note. Zaka is ready with brass tacks.